Hello everyone, Michi is here. I'm going to show you how relative reference, absolute reference, and mixed reference works on Excel. So I'm going to show you how relative reference works first. So we're going to count the column D, this D2 cell by using the B tool and C tool. Use this for the formula and B2 times C2. Enter. You see this, you just copy it and drag. You see because it's relative, so it will change the column and row like this row because we using the B and C in first, so the only change here is the row. But if you move it, copy it to the different column, the row and the column is changed. You see, it's from B and C to D to A because it's moving. Because from B and C, and I using this formula and I copy it, and the rest of this is changed, but only the row. But if I copy this to the other column, like this F column, it will move from B to D and C to A, and the rest of them on the F column is going to change to the row. So that's how relative reference work. Move to the absolute reference. Absolute reference is, wait, I'm going to show you. Absolute reference and relative reference. Well, while the relative is changed when you copy it to the or drag it, but the absolute is not changed whenever you want to copy it to F column, E column, or D column, or some letter column. So how it's gonna work? So we just add the $sign. The $sign is the cell address for absolute reference. So I'm gonna use. So let's begin. So like that, I'm going to count like the relative reference B2 times C2. You see the same, still same, but if you copy it, my bad. You see the rows moving. Why? Because we put the $sign is in the front of the column, so it's actually separate. So if you put the $sign in the front of the letter or the column, it means that only the column did absolute. So only the column did not change. Let's see if we copy it to the outer. See, still same. The column is still same, but the row still change because it's padded. So copy it again. Oh my bad. See, still same. No matter where you change. So that's how the letter form. But how to make it all absolute? It is use because it's spelled. You just put the dollar sign in the front of the row. In this example, in the front of the two. So it's absolute reference. All is absolute reference. So in this column is absolute. This row is absolute and absolute. So if you copy it to the other column, see, because I'm copying this B2 and C2, and all of them are absolute, like the column is absolute and the row are absolute. So if I copy this to the other column, it's all same as this because all of them, like the row and the column, is not changed. So if I copy this again, it will not change because I make it all absolute. So it's already all absolute. If I just put the dollar signs on the front of the column will change. My bad. The column is not changed, only the row change. Move the mixed reference. Mixed reference is the mix of the relative reference and the absolute reference. So how it's gonna work? It's simple. For you decide. I'm gonna decide this B2, this B2 to be the relative. So I'm going to use this only. And for the absolute, I'm going to make it all absolute. The row and the column for the C2. So I'm going to use the dollar sign on the front of the column, C, and the dollar sign on the front of the row. In this case, is 2. So I'm going to copy it again and drag it below. You see, because I'm making it the C2 is absolute, like the row and the column is absolute, but the B2 is not, is relative. So if I'm going to check it one by one, it change like this: B3, B4, B5, B6. But this C2, because I'm making it all absolute, is still C2. Still, if I remove this dollar sign on the front, in the front of the row, just copy it again. My bad. I'm going to copy it. You see that it's different. It's like the same. It's same that like we. Not my bad. It's not the same. But the results are the same. Like we refill on the absolute reference with only column, absolute column. So you see, if we check it one by one, like this, because the B column is relative, so it's gonna change. But this C, the row is changed. but you cannot spot the difference, right? So we're gonna copy it and drag it down in here. My bad, because it's somehow. Oops, my bad. You see, because it's relative, the column and the row is changed. But for the absolute one, because we just put the dollar sign in the front of column, but not in the front of the row, so the row is relative. So it changed. If you check it, same with this. So that's how mixed reference work. So it's the combination of the relative reference and absolute reference. Thank you for watching. Sorry for my English if I stutter like that because I'm not a native speaker, but I'm going to improve. Hopefully you can understand. Thank you for watching and have a nice day. See ya.